Hello world, it's your girl, Princess Fee, back at it again with another video. We are on the road to our higher self, and this is episode 7. So today's message, we're just going to get right into it as we do per usual. Today's message is about letting your heart lead the way. Let your heart lead the way. And I have 3 key points to assist with why you should let your heart lead the way. And I'm speaking on this message today because that's what I'm letting navigate me throughout life. Because sometimes, and this takes us into number 1. Number 1 is because sometimes we are so caught up in the mind and so caught up in that physical energy that we forget that our heart holds so much untapped wisdom. That's reason number 1. The heart holds so much untapped wisdom. And I feel like the more that we go internally, the more we align with what our heart truly wants, the better we feel. Because at the end of the day, the average person only really cares about their heart when it comes to somebody else. I'm talking about self-love, because here on this road to higher self, our focus is growth and evolvement by aid of personal development. And I do have my tarot cards here. I am a spiritual person, so we will do a tarot read at the end to see what the vibes are or what we need to know going forward throughout this day. And these are timeless messages, so whenever you see any of my content, it will always resonate, because everything I'm posting is all things that I'm applying into my life. And when it comes to my heart, because it's been closed off for so long and I've lived in my headspace, I've lived in my own physical world of chasing things, people, places, ideas, whatever the case is. Me learning to go more into my heart, it helps me to find beauty in everything. It helps me to see the wind blowing outside right now and just be in awe of how the trees are being blown, but nothing is really happening to them, meaning the branches aren't falling off. The tree itself isn't being uprooted. It's just swaying with the wind. And that might sound like, girl, that's normal, but when you're living through your heart, you find that as beauty, you find that as joy, you find that as an abundant energy where it's like the wind is so powerful. You don't even see the wind, but it's there. Like you can see it through the objects that it's blowing through, but you can't physically see the wind. And that's a perspective I only found after I decided to go on my deeper spiritual journey. Because I've always been spiritual, but because I've been religion-based, I've been in various, not situations, but like I've given myself the opportunity to kind of learn about various religions and the inner workings, and it all brought me into my spirituality. So let's not get too far off topic. Again, the message is to let your heart lead. And tip number 1, or reason number 1, again, it's because the heart holds so much wisdom. You want to find out more about yourself. You want to find out more about what you want out of this thing called life. Tap into your heart. Go inward, find out your true essence, and you'll be able to figure out what you want to do in life and be able to go for everything that you desire in a positive way. Tip number 2, or reason number 2, is because the heart is a core frequency. Love is a core frequency. And when you are busy finding love or only using your heart when it comes to somebody else and a relationship and things like that, it feels so good because it is a core frequency. It's something that we're born with. We're born with love. The earth vibrates on love. So love is something that is a core foundation of who we are. And the more we tap into our heart, the more we tap into love, the more that we understand that we are beings that want to feel good. Not just look good, because looking good, we can all look good. We can change our appearance. We can do X, Y, and Z. But I'm talking about feeling good. knowing that no matter what it looks like externally, internally, you are so secured because your heart is your guiding system. Your heart is what helps you to navigate throughout the world. And I've been pretty much single my entire life. So I'm not speaking on, oh, go out and find love. Let someone help pull it out of you. No. I'm talking about pulling it from yourself for yourself, because that being able to live in that frequency of love within self, number one, it will only attract love. And number two, you go into any external relationship or an external environment as your whole self. So as you go in with your whole self, you can't help but be that, I don't want to say missing piece, because no one should be missing a piece, but you're that whole self meeting someone else that hopefully is at their whole self. So when you bring it together, it only vibrates bigger. There is no holes and gaps to fill. It's already this, I'm full within myself. They're full within themselves. We come together and we make magic. We make beauty. We make our world be the best that it is. So again, with the heart and love being the core frequency that we are all born with, when you take time to tap back into that and you take time to really expand on what love means to you, how your heart has shown up in your life, how can you continue to show up through your heart space, how can you expand that center of your body and really understand that your heart is an organ that needs attention, just like everything else in your body. Just like everything else in this world, your heart needs attention. But because it beats so effortlessly, because unless you have a disease or you have an illness or whatever the case is, then maybe you'll tap into your heart and do things that's best for it. But if you're 100% healthy and you are thriving in your life, or you are struggling, or wherever you're at, but you're 100% healthy, or as healthy as you can be, your heart is not your concern. You're not worried about your heart. It only really comes into play when you're trying to be with somebody, when you're going through a breakup, when you're going through something that causes you to be like, oh my God, like my love is not being reciprocated, or I'm trying to feel more of my love. I'm trying to be more in that for someone else. That's when, okay, yeah, you'll feel good in it, because one of the reasons why it helps you feel good is because it is a core frequency. And when you can learn to do it for yourself, do it for your inner wisdom and your inner workings, you can't help but expand into all that you're destined to be. Reason number 3 is that it helps us to prioritize ourselves. When you are moving through your heart, and I've realized in my own journey of my road to higher self, every time when I'm tapping into my heart and I'm letting my heart find my intentions and really let me know if something is good for me or not, it kind of forces me to do what's right for myself. Because my heart is never going to say, girl, go do some outlandish thing and deal with the repercussions later. My heart's going to say, this doesn't feel quite right. Let's just sit it out. Or, this feels like it will awaken my soul. Go for it. My heart has really been my compass. And there are times, I am human, where I go back up to my mind. We are logical beings. We can't help but live in our brain and want to find the whys and the whats in the world. And yeah, that is possible. But at the same time, when you're really evolving into your higher power, you're moving into your best self, you're becoming someone that you've never been before, you now have to do things you've never done before. And if the average person lives in their mind, then the person that excels, the one that is not average, the one that is in that higher ranking, they move through their heart. And regardless of what the physical environment looks like, because they're so fortified within their internal being, Just like with the wind blowing on the trees, they don't move. The roots don't go anywhere. The whole body isn't uprooted because of a change going on, because an environmental shift happening. No, the core essence is your core essence for you to do whatever you want to do with it. And I recommend harnessing your core essence, because at the end of the day, you can go through life squandering your internal essence. You can go through life neglecting your inner workings and just being very external, being on the phone, watching Netflix, watching whatever show, just constantly engaging externally. You can do that. But if you're anything like me and you've seen growing up adults that show this, oh, I have it all together, I got it all figured out, but let them have a change in their life. Let them deal with anger. Let them deal with any big emotions. Let what they have grounded themselves in begin to shake. They become unrecognizable. They become this ball of chaotic energy, not knowing how to function in the same world that they've been functioning in. But what happens there is when you put so much focus and so much attention and you ground yourself in physical things, when those physical things get taken, and with life, we've already discussed in one of our previous videos that change is inevitable. Things go up, things go down, things come, things go. People are here, people are gone the next day. Things happen. And when you ground yourself in something external, and grounding means when you find yourself in something external, when that external thing, whether it is money, whether it is a business, whether it is a person, whether it is an item, whatever it is, if that was to be taken from you, what would you do from there? How would you feel? Would you still be able to function at your highest self? Or would you be flustered trying to figure out what your next move is going to be? And I can tell you, along my journey, many things are going to be coming to me. I'm open to receiving all that the world has to offer me for my highest and greatest good. And in that same breath, if what comes to me gets taken away from me, and I am back against the wall, not knowing what is up from down and right from left, and not knowing what is happening, I know I can trust myself. I know I can surrender to the divine, to God, to the universe, to whoever your higher power is. I know I can surrender to it because it's shown up for me multiple times in my life. Multiple times when I'm not even showing up for myself. When I'm too busy living fast, enjoying my best life, staying up late, waking up late, or waking up early, rushing to work with a hangover, getting through my 9 to 5, going back home to get dressed for another party, constantly doing something, constantly living in a production-based world and showing up and producing and this and that. One thing that can do, it can help time fly. If you want to see your time fly, if you want to go from today to 10 years from now, get focused on the external. Go ahead. Get you a job or a high producing career where you're constantly showing up, constantly doing. Before you know it, your weeks become mundane, your months become the same, and your years fly past with you doing the same things you've done the previous year before. I've done it, so I can speak on that. I can say that that is a reality because you'll get so caught up in the day-to-day chase of trying to catch a good bedtime, wake up early, go through traffic, go to work, take care of your child, or take care of yourself if you don't have a child, but you're constantly doing something. And what I've realized is when you come out of the physical and you get back internal and you let your heart lead and you make sure that you always connect internally first, that's when time kind of slows down. Only because you get to points of your life where you're like, okay, I know I have to do this. I know I want to do this. I know I've neglected it for so long and I can easily neglect it again. But because I'm honoring my heart, and because I made this promise to myself to show up for myself, anytime a task comes up or a stepping stone appears, and stepping stones are another word for obstacles. When a stepping stone appears and you're realizing, okay, I'm living through my heart, not my mind. Because my mind's going to say, girl, you got better things to do than this. Girl, you don't need to be sitting here recording nothing, because people, who cares about people? Like, why are you so worried about that? Worry about yourself. Go worry about this. Go worry about that. And it's like, whoa, why am I worrying at all? What's meant to be will be. What's not meant to be will not be. But at the end of the day, as I rest in my true power, as I do what is best for myself, and I continue to show up for me and mine, and me and those that are listening to me and following me along my journey, those that listen in and grab gems when I'm throwing them out there, because I'm somebody, which I believe we all do this. I believe we all do this, especially if you are someone that does not live on the surface level, because there's a surface level lifestyle, but then there's this internal level lifestyle where surface level is everything that you can see. Everything that you can see, but when someone gets to speaking, there is nothing of greatness coming out. It is just womp, 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 gossip. Let's talk about this celebrity or this person and that over here and there and that. We can do that. But at the end of the day, that's all surface level. That's all things anybody could find out. But because you just got the hot gossip, now we're listening to you share it, when it's like, no, that does nothing for my life. Finding out what somebody else is doing does nothing for our life. Now, if you genuinely care for someone, because as I move through my heart, when one of my loved ones or one of my family or friends, or whatever the case is, when they call me and they want to get something off their chest, as much as I can quickly be like, girl, it's not that serious, move forward, or boy, forget about that, who cares about that, or whatever, it doesn't matter, leave it alone, like focus on something else. Yeah, I can do that, but at the end of the day, I know we all have our own perspectives. We have our own world that we're living in. So because I am living through my heart, and I'm living through a space of service to the world, when a loved one calls me for my wisdom or calls me just to vent, I'm there for them, because at the end of the day, I know I'm a rare breed, but I also know that people need soundboards. I needed a soundboard for so long, and sometimes I still need a soundboard. My soundboard that I've learned is myself. But even with myself being my greatest soundboard, when I speak to my best friend, it's a wonderful soundboard. When I speak to my cousin, it's a wonderful soundboard. When I speak to my sister, it's a wonderful soundboard. Everybody has their own ways of contributing to my mental, into who I am. And I only am able to see the beauty that is given to me because I live through my heart, and I let my heart lead the way. And I'm still balancing the two between my mind and my heart, because my mind, I'm an air sign, I'm an Aquarius, I live in my mind. I ground myself in my brain. Like the life that I have in my head, oh my gosh, it's amazing. Like I am good. Like even when I'm hard on myself, I'm good. But I have to come out of that, because you can live in your brain for so long. A decade can almost pass and you're just now showing up for yourself physically. So now when we go back into the heart, these 3 tips that I gave you, these 3 reasons why you should be in your heart. And even though it might not feel so good at first, because when I first opened up my heart chakra and I really was like, okay, Felicia, okay, Princess Fee, let's tap into this inner knowing. Let's figure out what the heart has to say. I had heartburn. I had heartburn that felt like I was burning on the inside. I was like, oh my gosh, like literally rubbing my heart space all day, because it just felt like everything just hurt. Breathing hurt. Like exhaling hurt. Everything just felt weird. And I've never had heartburn my whole life. So it's not a dietary thing. It's not something I ate. And I never had heartburn even while I was pregnant. And sometimes that can happen. So heartburn is not something that runs in my system. But when I opened up my heart, Yeah, it definitely felt some type of way. It definitely gave me this tightness where I'm like, dang, what's going on inside? But as I worked through it, as I understood it, as I let my heart speak, I was able to see like, oh, okay, like it only hurt to open you because I wasn't focused on you. It took my heart some getting used to with this new pump. It was like, okay, we've been beating real shallow and low for so long. Now you want to show us attention. Now our thumps are getting bigger. Now we're expanding more. We're sending more love and light throughout your body. We're healing from inside out. And it's really just been that game changer for me. And I'm just here to drop as many gems as I can. So let's quickly recap why you should lead through your heart, why you should let your heart guide you on your journey, why your heart should be the compass of your life, and you letting your heart lead the way. 1, the heart holds so much untapped wisdom. I really wouldn't be where I'm at right now if it wasn't for me going internal and understanding what my heart truly wants. So that heart, it holds untapped wisdom that only you can find. Because we all have our own source of wisdom inside of us. And we all have to do our own internal work to find that wisdom. And when we do that, you offer something to the world that nobody else has. Or if they do have it, they may not have found somebody to help pull it out of them. So the more that you show up for the world, the more the world can grab on the gems that you are dropping. Number 2, it is a core frequency. It's a core frequency that you're born with. Love is something there's a lot that we're born with, but love is the most powerful one that we are born with, that literally the planet that we live on vibrates off of. It vibrates off of love. If you ever do any meditation, if you're a spiritual person who really does like Mother Nature meditations just to really tap into Pachamama, or however you want to describe the planet, Mother Earth as a whole, you know that the inner core essence, that inner crystallized source is a rainbow. It's a rainbow. It's full of all colors. It's full of all hues, all shades. Whatever your perspective would let it be is what it is. If you say, oh, it's red, then maybe it is red for you. If I say it's purple, maybe it is purple for me. But it is so adaptable. It is so abundant. It is so, what's the proper word? There's not even a proper word I could find for it. But it's so magnificent. It's so empowering that when you really ground yourself in Mother Nature, when you really ground yourself or align yourself with the frequency of the world, when you really find out that there is so much more that we don't quite know yet, that's when you just begin to open yourself up to the journey. And fear doesn't live here. So we're not going to talk about no fear of success or, oh, we're scared of this or self-doubt. We're not doing that. We've done that already. You want to find out some negative aspects of yourself? Go ahead and do something you've never done before. Then you'll see what your heart truly, or what your mind is truly wanting to do. So let me go ahead and tip number 3, as I was quickly recapping, was that it helps to prioritize yourself. It helps to put you first. It helps to align yourself back with what you truly want to show up in the world as. So again, let your heart lead the way. 1, it holds so much untapped wisdom. 2, it's a core frequency. And 3, it helps to prioritize yourself. Now we're going to do a tarot read just to see what card or cards want to come out. Tarot is a beautiful, beautiful practice. There is a lot of stigma around it, but at the end of the day, if you are open to knowledge that you haven't quite learned yet, then you can't help but see the beauty of it. So the card that came out is Knight of Pentacles. Knight of Pentacles is all about going for what you want and going for everything that you want physically. Knowing that as you show up for yourself, as you live through your heart, as you continue to expand into all that you're meant to be, your physical environment can't help but to evolve and change as well. So with Knight of Pentacles, it's simply saying go for what you want. Go for what you want. Go for your higher power. Go for your enlightenment and stay in your highest and greatest self. So I am Princess Fee. This is Love Clearly. If you're looking for me on any of my social media accounts, it will be in the description below. Go ahead and like, comment, share, subscribe, all that good stuff, because there is plenty more where this is coming from. And I'll go ahead and sign off. I'm sending you peace, love, happiness, health, and wellness. And we'll meet again. Bye.